So this is my very rough Nerf crossbow. Just made this as a little test to see how it would work. So I'll explain all the key features. So I started with just a piece of 12mm hardwood. It's just because that's what I had hanging around. Something thicker would obviously be better. I cut a slot in it for the bow. Notice it's angled up so that the string doesn't press too hard on the stock. Pretty typical of a crossbow. It's held in place with two wedges that I made out of a peg. It's a pretty short bow, probably just over 300mm or 1 foot. And the bow itself is just made of PVC. It's probably about 3mm thick, that thin part there. And it's just got an extra piece of it for a bit of stiffness. The bowstring is made of 1mm fishing line. So nice, cheap, easy way to build it. And then this little round dowel, which, having done tests, this piece is what reduces the power by about 1/3. So that's a bit of a shame. But that is so, when your Nerf dart is in front of it, you don't have that very thin bowstring cutting into it and destroying your darts. So I screwed this extra piece of wood on, both to hold the bow in place a little, and somewhere to attach these side bits to make the trough. So to draw the string, you just pull this back till it fits into those two notches on either side. Now this part's cut away only because I previously had notches here, so that if I released it from here, it would catch in those notches, so I had to just sand them off. I've got these nails to stop the string going too far forward into here, which is an absolutely terrible idea because you can see they're quickly becoming loose. And the trigger, it's just a metal wire. You push it up, it's naturally springy, and all it does is just pushes this dowel up and out of the notches. And that is about all there is to it. Very simple, just a test. So these are the two Nerf guns I'll be testing today. My crossbow, of course, and as a control, my modded night finder. So I've added this rubber band for a bit of extra power. I've also removed the air restrictor, sanded out the barrel for what it's worth, and lightened the trigger. As you can see, it's now very short, very light, quite nice. But that's it. I'm also going to be trying two different kinds of darts. I've got regular elite darts, some of which are a little bit worn, as well as these ones, which I added Fletchers, just with sticky tape. Now notice they're slightly angled. It's designed so that they can spin through the air, theoretically making them more stable. I've had some good results with the night finder. They tend to make them a bit more precise, a bit less inconsistent, but I'll test them both with the crossbow and the night finder. So to test the range, I'm about 12 meters or 13 yards away from that box over there, which measures about 850 by 700mm wide, or about 3 foot by 2 foot. I'll start with the crossbow. I'll start with the ordinary darts that have no vanes. Fletchers, I should say. Don't know if it's obvious on camera, but the darts do drop quite a lot. I'm really having to arc this up. But they are flying very straight. I tend to think, okay, that was a bit to the right and a bit high, that There's not much point at being powerful if I can't hit anything with it. So I think that is pretty much the maximum range of this crossbow. Any more than that and the darts would just be arcing too much. As it is, they were barely hitting the box, but they were all pretty much on target. They weren't flying to the left or right wildly. I know a lot of Nerf testers do this via groupings on the ground. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in, that's probably less than a metre of spread. And we've got this flyer over here, which was the one I pointed out as being a bit too far to the right and a bit high. But at 12 metres, I think that's a decent grouping. You can definitely hit stuff with it. So now for the control test with my modified night finder. Again, I'm going to fire the unveined darts first, 3 of those, and then 3 of my modified darts. And with the crossbow there was pretty much no difference in them. They were all pretty accurate. So for the sake of things like magazine feed and consistency, you'd be better off going just with ordinary darts. Again, I'm not sure how obvious the flight paths will be on camera, but this one has a much flatter trajectory and shoots the darts a lot harder. And that shot really didn't show that. That one did. So that last one was close to being on target. The other 2 are off by at least a metre. I'll keep going with the fletched darts. So that nearly hit the box. We're just off to the left. That was a nice solid hit. And so was that. So with the night finder, those finned darts really do make a difference. And just for the heck of it, I'll fire a couple more regular darts. These were spares in case I lose the others. That was nicely on target. And so was that. So I'm going to do just a little bit of speed shooting from the hip, just pointing and shooting at that grey trapdoor. Lucky I pointed out was from the hip, explains why I can't hit it.